And video number 12. Another short one, I think. So we've talked about our raw material and the fact that it's not an ideal raw material for this machine. We've talked about the machine and how it may be broken or function in a way that doesn't produce what we would ideally want, and the fact that with regard to both us and the machine, these are things that if you want, you can use your agency to try to change. Now what we're going to focus on is the product, the thoughts and behaviors. And remember, these are thoughts and behaviors specifically designed to help us efficiently and securely meet our needs. So you wake up in the morning and you remember, oh yeah, I'm taking this intro to sociology class. I'm going to step into the machine. I've got certain thoughts, which are that I need to do it in order to get my college degree. The course might be boring, but I need to do it so I can get a decent job. You've got to behave in certain ways, like watch this video, post on discussion boards, all that stuff. And those are the thoughts and behaviors that, again, you're not just born with those. You have those thoughts and you engage in those behaviors because of the society that you're in. For what I want to focus on right now is those that are thoughts and behaviors that are designed to produce the good of the pack. Remember, society is something that is designed to meet our needs efficiently and securely. The pack, we're pack animals. Now, our pack is huge and unwieldy now, but it is still the same thing. Society is set up in order to produce the good of the pack. So those thoughts and behaviors you have, they are going to lead you into a situation where you have a career, and when you have a career, you will be pursuing your own material self-interest. You're going to try to make enough money to be able to afford a house or be able to feed yourself, take care of a family, whatever it is. But it's important for you to understand that what the society is doing is getting you to have thoughts and behaviors that will allow you to engage in your little tiny part of producing the good of the pack. So I come to work, I make these videos, I answer your emails, I do all that stuff, and at the end of the day, I get a paycheck. I take my paycheck, I go to the grocery store, I buy my food, and what happens is I've hopefully met my and my family's material needs. But I've also given money to somebody else. I've done my one little piece, and I have earned my money, I give that money to somebody else, and then he or she can go and meet their own needs. And they do it by, again, buying food, buying clothes, getting work done on their home. All of which is, again, taking that money and spreading it to other members of our pack. So the thoughts and behaviors that I have that allow me or that influence me to engage in this are about the good of the pack. They're not about my happiness. And that's where I want to already end this video. The good of the pack is not necessarily what's best for you. The thoughts and behaviors that are produced in here are sometimes going to lead you into misery. Right now, just speaking as a man, we're at a transition point in American society where it is becoming more and more acceptable for men to be able to have emotional connections with other people. But that traditionally has not been the case. If I was a man being inserted into a society, I was told to have thoughts like, it's bad for me to feel fear. I should not need emotional support from somebody else. How's that going to produce my happiness? It's not. If I am a woman, and I don't know that I would argue that men are making more progress than women, but for women in this situation, you are still being put into a society that produces the thought in most of your minds. It may not be the case for you as an individual, but obviously for most girls and women, that appearance is of paramount importance in their lives. Now, that's a thought that is only going to bring about misery. It is taking a perspective on yourself that you as a physical object is more important than what your body can do, than what your mind can do. And again, this is something that is not coincidental. It's not a coincidence that almost every girl and woman who watches this video has those same thoughts about, do I look good enough? That is a problem that is produced by society. So, in conclusion, we've talked about us as not the ideal raw material, but we are the raw material for this society, a society that's a machine. It takes us in, produces thoughts and behaviors that are going to help us securely and efficiently meet our needs. But it's focused on the pack. It's not focused on us as individuals, which means now that you are aware of this, that you're aware that society does not care about your happiness, which is a drag of a thing to say, but it's also true. Now you're armed to be able to say, okay, I'm waking up today and I'm stepping into a society that tells me I should think this thought and that I should behave in this way. You now have the ability to reflect on it and say, yeah, you know what? Some of these things I'll go along with. I can see that they will be beneficial, but others, maybe not anymore. Maybe they're not going to lead me in the direction that I want my life to go. All right, that is it for this lecture. I know that's a little bit of, a little bit of more, I guess, advice than teaching. But again, I kind of said at the very beginning of the class, this is the most important class that you will take for a reason. And the reason is you get to understand what is this water that is pushing me around. I get to make my own history, as Karl Marx said, but I need to understand what are the circumstances in which I'm going to be making them. And be aware the circumstances don't care about your happiness. If you're going to be happy, you've got to find a way to do it despite this. All right, it's so heavy. Sorry. Email me if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.